Committee Democrat with no official transcript, but a spokesperson for Clinton says he never said no to a transcript and accused the committee of trying to protect, quote, you-know-who, end quote. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
The Woodland Hills School District is responding to concerns raised by a state lawmaker over district finances and the superintendent's extended paid leave. News Radio KDKA's Tamara Rush has those details.
In a statement released to KDKA Radio, Woodland Hills School Board President Terry Lawson says State Representative Abigail Salisbury has not made specific allegations or requested information from the district. Lawson says there is no evidence of misused public funds and points to a current fund balance of more than $11 million. As for the superintendent's leave, the board says it is legally prohibited from discussing personnel matters, but remains committed to transparency where the law allows. Tamara Rush, News Radio KDKA.
State Representative Abigail Salisbury was a guest of Colin Dunlap's and says she does hope everything's on the up and up with Woodland Hills.
I think that these are the reasons why we do audits of these departments. And I think that if everything is fine, then everything's fine. And that's great. And we can all move on with confidence in the way that our tax dollars are being spent. But at this point, I just believe it's incumbent upon me as a state representative to make sure that money is being spent appropriately.
We obviously continue to monitor this story. KDK Sports, they're at half over at the Cooper Center. St. Louis has a 2-point lead over Duquesne, 40-38. Danny Smith, the very popular special teams coach with the Pittsburgh Steelers, will now be the special teams coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm Paul Alexander on the Voice of Pittsburgh News Radio, KDKA.
Life-changing medicine is happening every day at UPMC Heart and Vascular Institute.
We have the luxury to be bold, to continue to be pioneers in the world for innovative heart care.
We are the place of discovery. Literally, the world experts in cardiac care are in this institution.
By combining technology, research, and the latest innovations, patients from all over the world come to UPMC.
Because of the expertise that exists here at UPMC, it allows us to take on patients that have been turned down at other centers.
We offer unique heart procedures that you cannot get anywhere else.
One of our founding mantras is that compassion has to be at the forefront of everything that we do.
From leading the region in cardiac procedures to being the only center in the state to offer integrated women's health and heart care, UPMC is pioneering life-changing cardiac care every day. Your heart care matters. Visit upmc.com/heart to learn more.
Not sure whether it's busted or salvageable? Call PJ Fitzpatrick to diagnose and fix your home repair problems. PJ will come to your home with a complete shop on their truck, and they can fix it all in the same day. Freezing, drafty windows, overflowing gutters, rotted trim, and leaking roofs. This is the time to call the home repair experts at PJ Fitzpatrick. No job too big or too small. Visit them at trustpj.com. With over 45 years of experience, they'll fix it right the first time. Visit trustpj.com and stay off the ladders.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It's going to be cold again tonight as it turns out cloudy, a low of 12. Cloudy, breezy, and not as cold tomorrow. We'll have some intermittent snow and flurries in the afternoon, which could coat the ground, a high of 37. Still some snow into tomorrow night, low 31. For AccuWeather, I'm Brian Thompson, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Rob Fracks on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
He has become one of our favorites, not just here on the radio, but my social media platform. Former Secret Service agent John Hudson joins us tonight. John, good evening, and a little late, but better late than never. Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year, you too, Rob. Thanks for having me.
You bet. So drones have been in the news a lot, and one of the reasons is that Russia is using them to turn up the heat in an already hot kitchen against Ukraine, and many people believe it's the reason why Vladimir Putin is getting the upper hand there. And what happened in Venezuela with the Delta team, people actually calling my show from Florida saying that they were hearing and seeing drones. So I said, you know what, let's get them on the air here and talk about the significance of it. And in your security business, this is one of the many things that you do. So what it does reduce risk for personnel, does it not? Meaning troops, military.
Oh, absolutely, Rob. It does reduce that risk. And we're seeing it more prevalent in the military applications lately. We're seeing it where fleets of drones or you might consider them battalions of drones, scouring the battlefields. And the governments are using these drones to practice to see how, troops would react. What are you going to aim at? Where are you going to shoot? Because they're coming in at all different directions. But this is becoming more and more prevalent. As you know, back in, I believe it was 2015, we began training different departments in the Region 13 area, Western Pennsylvania. First and foremost was Northern Regional Police Department, where they acquired a drone to use for searching for local children who might have come up missing. We've used it in a number of different local and state applications, but now to see it in the military applications, it was inevitable. We're seeing these high-flying, long-distance drones being flown from, say, the state of Washington overseas on top of battlefields, being used for surveillance. They were used in the Israeli surveillance operations. So they're becoming much more prevalent and very common. They've evolved quite a bit in the last 10 years since we first started here locally in the Western PA area.
Even when it comes to military defense spending, you have to look at the bottom line. These are also very cost-effective, are they not?
Oh, very cost-effective. You have some maintenance and some training. It doesn't take as many people now. I mean, for example, let me give you some local applications for just local governments, maybe permitting for inspection of roofs, looking at hillsides, landslides. We have a lot of that. We just experienced some of that along the Ohio River Boulevard and Route 79 here this past year. Search and rescue along the Ohio River. The Ohio River, it takes lives every year from drowners, from boaters, and from swimmers. It helps minimize the amount of time spent on site in searching for potential deceased victim. So there are a lot of different applications that are being used where now it doesn't take a lot of different people to go look for one object. Let me give you one example that we used in Ambridge a few years ago when a police officer was shot at. We deployed the drone technology up there and we scoured neighborhoods. We scoured the hillsides, wood lines, backyards, along the streets in a very short period of time, which maybe within about 30 minutes, of which would have taken countless man hours and resources to do something like that, relying on all of the other police departments who show up on scene and begin knocking on doors and walking on foot and driving around. So, yeah, it saves a lot of time.
All right, so let's talk about how precise and how lethal can they be on the battlefield. Go ahead.
Well, you can carry weapons. They're deployed with weapons right now. The larger drones have missiles that are fired from those drones, and they can hit different targets from long distances. It's being used down in Venezuela. You've seen the drug boats being shot at. That's one application right there. There are other applications that are being looked at for firing smaller ammunitions as well. So if we're looking at the different military applications, you're putting drones up at nighttime where the enemy can't see them at all, but you can see the battlefield with thermal imagery. That was also deployed down in Venezuela. You can see some of the news media that showed some of those applications down at the border. The Border Patrol was using this during to locate illegal migration across the border. So there are a ton of applications, and the technology is going to get better and better. For example, let's just say you have a contaminated, way back when we had 3 Mile Island incident, you have a potential chemical leak or contamination. You can take sensors and deploy them with drones several miles away so that you're not utilizing personnel to go into what we would consider a hot zone to determine if there's a leak or not. So this information is immediately real-time live being fed back to a command post or to a fixed command post or to a mobile command post. So there are so many different applications that this technology is being used for. Then, unfortunately, the air is becoming saturated with them, as we saw in New Jersey over this past year. last fall, I believe, where we had the number of hundreds of drones being flown at one time. The mysteries that were surrounding that are still being, I guess, uncovered, but there are some explanations that came of that. But nonetheless, we're seeing it more and more prevalent throughout the different areas, whether it's agriculture, whether it's law enforcement, first responders, the federal government. We saw it being used by up in the Butler area at that one point in time where he was the perpetrator was scouting out the area before the president showed up using a drone. The Secret Service is now using drones. So it's very prevalent anymore. And I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of it. And along with that are going to be coming stricter policies and procedures by the FAA, I'm certain of.
All right, let me ask you one more question because of your military background and obviously Secret Service and what you're doing with your company now. If there's anybody that really could answer this question, it's you. And I've been trying to explain to the audience that, we're on a need-to-know basis about certain things, especially when it comes to national defense, the citizenship of this country, and rightfully so. My heart of heart is telling me that there is more to Greenland than just the fact that he wants to build military bases. One of the reasons why he actually did offer $700 billion. And I think all of these countries that are pushing back, Denmark, the UK, Sweden, and Finland, I don't think they realize, but I think the president is looking at the world that we're living in, what Russia is doing in Ukraine, and what China could possibly be doing, obviously military maneuvers off the coast of Taiwan of late, just trying to flex their muscles. That we need Greenland, and for a number of reasons, but more importantly, national security because of a hop, skip, and a jump from places like Russia. And they may know something that they're not telling us, and rightfully so, the reason I think he's trying to ramp this up. And if I'm one of these other countries and leaders of these countries, maybe now that he's headed to Switzerland, they'll have a chance to talk to him face to face, and maybe he'll explain to them, hey, this isn't about us worrying about our back door and somebody sneaking in on our home country, but it could hurt you in the long run as well. I just think there's more to this story, and explain national security, why Greenland is so important and why the president is not backing down.
Well, strategically, it works for our Golden Dome scenario, which the president talked about as he came into office. And I believe Pete Hegseth is working on now through the Department of War. And I know we have some military operations over there now. However, as you see, there's that channel up in the Arctic there in which Russia and the Chinese use. And if Russia doesn't, right now with Denmark Army and their military is strategically, they're the ones that's supposed to protect Greenland. And I would say that if Russia decides they want to take it and China decides they want to take it, as Trump has suggested, we are now supporting whatever the protocols are of the United Nations and that of Denmark, as opposed to ourselves, United States. If we end up ceding Greenland, and I'm sure, right now there's an uproar with the people of Greenland, but I'm sure that when we took Greenland over as another state, that I don't think it's going to be as bad as people are making it out to be, as you might hear in the news media, but it'll give us a strategic position there. Now, Russia and China would think twice before they decide to come in and invade Greenland. That's how I'm seeing it, and that's what I'm hearing as well. So I think rather than just saying, hey, we have a piece of property over there as a military base, let's just take it. Let's support the Greenland people. Let's protect them, and let's protect our national security and that Arctic circle in which these shipping lanes are between Russia and China, so that we're protecting actually the Western Hemisphere. So there's a lot more to it than that, but that's it in a nutshell, Rob.
All right, perfect. John, we can't thank you enough. You're truly one of the best who have ever done it. We appreciate your insight, and we'll do it again, okay?
Thank you very much, sir, and you have a good evening and a Happy New Year to you and your family.
There he is, Security Consulting Solutions, Inc., one of the brightest people I know, former Secret Service agent John Hudson. All right, short break, right back to your phones in calls in just a moment. It's your Pratt Pack on a Tuesday night at KDKA.
Your source for everything that's news. Hear it on News Radio KDKA.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-963-6655. That's 800-963-6655. Again, 800-963-6655.
Brian Schlaba here from the Home Buyers of Pittsburgh. Born and raised right here. Since 2015, we've helped over 1,000 Pittsburgh homeowners sell their houses quickly and without the stress. No repairs, cleanouts, inspections, or appraisals. We give fast and fair cash offers, buy your home as is, and you choose the closing day. Visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com or call 412-500-9057. That's 412-500-9057.
Pittsburgh's local trusted home buyer since 2015.
This is Barry and Steve Ehrenrich from Petite Kitchen and Bath Design Center, and we'd like to say thank you.
Thank you for making Petite the premier kitchen and bath design center and remodeler in Western Pennsylvania.
For over 50 years, you've welcomed us into your homes to help solve your remodeling problems. Our goal is, and always has been, to avoid the nightmare of remodeling. We want to give you the kitchen or bath of your dreams.
Thank you for taking it one step further. You recommended us to your friends. There's no greater statement of satisfaction than to say to a friend, I love my Petite kitchen, or I'm so happy with my Petite bath. You should call them too.
From custom creation to expert installation, you don't have to go anywhere else. And you didn't. You came to Petite. So, thank you.
And to those of you who haven't been to Petite yet, haven't you waited long enough? PA 625.
Make 380 Auction of Murraysville your next stop for name brand furniture. Stop in and compare their quality and pricing. 380 Auction has name brand furniture for less. Before you buy, shop 380 and save on your next furniture purchase. 380 Auction is open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Sunday noon to 5 p.m., or call 724-339-3132. That's 724-339-3132, or log on to shop380.com and save. New to Medicare, get covered with MediConnect. Listen Wednesdays around 1:40 to hear Lance O'Brien of MediConnect help you navigate the Medicare process. Simply great, unbiased information to get you the best healthcare coverage. Get covered with MediConnect. Medicare made simple.
The KDKA radio text line is driven by Kenny Ross Auto Group. Find your best deal and Pittsburgh's best warranty at kennyross.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Pittsburgh's 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
That was a very interesting interview. I think it should put it in perspective now. We're living in a different time, and war is being fought differently. And, yeah, it could be on our home turf before you know it. That's where we are at right now, especially with the technology that the drones do give you. All right, 866-391-1020. A lot of folks still wanting to talk, so let's go right back to work on the phone lines for a Tuesday night. Next up is New Kensington. Let's say hi to Mike on KDK. Hey, Mike.
How are you doing, Rob?
I'm good, sir.
I just wanted to say one thing. I don't understand how Americans think. We're a nation of laws. If you don't believe in a law when one administration is in place, but yet you scream and yell about, don't believe in a law when another administration is in place, I don't understand it.
Here's what it comes down to. They just don't like the person who's in office now. They don't. And because he's not a typical politician, he's not a career politician, he does things upside down at times. He doesn't handle it with the decorum that most people in that office has. But I think he's getting things done. But I also think he's starting to get another wave of, okay, I kind of have to start doing things more politically correct, even though he may not want to. And we've seen him jump out of that mode a little bit during his first year. And when he did, got a lot of pushback. But I think he's starting to realize sometimes you can get a lot more by giving them sugar as opposed to giving them salt. So he's just trying to sweeten things up a little bit. But I understand, and like he said today, and this was my indication, he said today at the White House as he was getting ready to head to Switzerland, talking about his first year, he said, look, we're not trying to get rid of people in this country who may not be here on the up and up, but they're trying to become citizens who are working in agriculture or restaurants or doing these minuscule jobs that, sadly, Americans don't want to do. So somebody's got to do it. He said, we're going after, the rapists, the drug dealers, the habitual criminals. So I think he's trying to be a little bit more kinder and gentler as a president. And today was an indication. And I hope he does, because both sides have to figure a way out of this, Mike, because it's getting very scary right now in the United States because of what's happening in places like Minneapolis.
Well, I totally I agree. I mean, it's a simple thing. I mean, if Minneapolis, New York, and the other ones, I'm going to just put away there. I am a Republican. But I'm not. I'm an American. But the point being is that this didn't have to happen up there.
No.
They already had them. They broke the law. All they had to do was make a phone call, and it would have been done. ICE wouldn't be there. FBI wouldn't be there. That woman wouldn't have to die because she broke the law.
Horrible.
But the point being is that it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, explain to me before I move on to my next caller. How did we get to this point? That's what I want to know. How did we get to this point?
Honestly,
no one knows. I don't know. How did we get?
Do.
Okay, tell me, please.
The squeaky wheel always gets the most grease. So, I mean, even if you're a minority, or, I mean, it's someone that, it's just like any business. If you get a guy that, or a woman, I don't want an employee that squeals the most, the company is going to try and take care of that person the best they can up to the point where they can't do anymore. I mean, it's more or less as simple as that. I mean, if they would have obeyed the law, that's the simple law. I mean, if they didn't agree with the law, the states are in control of the federal government. All you got to do is vote the people in that you agree, that they say, well, this law makes no sense, and then they go to the federal government and they change the law. That's how all this came around. It wasn't that the federal government is the king of all and they can make any laws they want. It's the states that are in control of the federal government. The states are in control of the people.
Well,
so I don't.
Go ahead.
I just don't get it.
Well, I know one thing. The law is the law. And after that shooting would have taken place, if that would have been my neighborhood, I would have went into my house and locked the door and only snuck out through the garage to go to work. How this hasn't completely dispersed this crowd and made everybody dial it down is beyond me. I mean, we've got protests even in Pittsburgh tonight because of the year anniversary of the president being in office. I mean, who would want to be out protesting on a night that it's like 5 degrees above zero? I don't get it, Mike. I just don't get it. It's sad. It's just so sad.
Protesting is fine, but you're not allowed to block the roads. So, I mean, as far as it goes, I mean, if you want to protest, peaceful protest is fine. I mean, if you have a parade, say Christmas, Thanksgiving, you make the thing saying, hey, these are the roads they want. The city government goes through and they say, look, these roads are going to be closed at this particular time. You can't close a road in front of a hospital, a police station, a fire station. You just can't walk in front of it and say, hell no, we're not going to do it. I mean, we're not going to walk away because people die because of this. We are.
But you understand, let me just say one thing. Do you realize how long this whole disrespect thing for law enforcement has been going on, though? This isn't nothing new. And whether you look at them as law enforcement or not, they are. But people forget how we have really been disrespectful to law enforcement at all levels for years. I mean, this isn't like something. Why do you think the numbers are dwindling as we speak? People in law enforcement, they don't want to do that. They don't want to risk their life every day when somebody's got a phone and they're trying to disgrace or destroy them because they're actually doing their job. It makes no sense. Mike, I got to giddy up and get to a break. We'll come back. Lots of folks want to talk. We're in open talk until 10 o'clock tonight, and back with you tomorrow night as well. Jonathan Salant, a writer, columnist for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. A couple of tidbits about the upcoming gubernatorial race, but also the president's first year back in office. And look, I'm going to give you a chance right now. You want to get out the red ink or the blue ink? You want to grade him on how you think he has done? And I got some callers who I know are probably saying he better work on his extra credit right now because it's not going to be a good grade. Bottom line is the guy has been perpetual motion, working every day to try to do something, at least trying to stir the pot a little bit. And I think that is what you want. You want a politician out there, like Corey O'Connor out there today in the warming centers. You want that. Checking out the ice dams on the Allegheny River. You want that. That's what you want politicians to do. 866-391-1020. It's your Pratt Pack.
Insurance companies often have a basic strategy: delay, deny, defend. Some try to grind you down, but they have another tremendous weapon, a software called Colossus. They know which attorneys are great and which are not so great. They know who is likely to take the last offer and who will take them by their scalp, kicking and screaming to trial. They know that they have to pay some firms early and fairly. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. The insurance companies have done their homework. Before you hire a lawyer for your injury case, do yours. Visit forthepeople.com and see our settlements and verdicts for cases like yours. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. When you hire the wrong firm, you may be beat before you start. All law firms are not the same. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, 603 Stanwyck Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania lawyer will handle Pennsylvania cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
At Straight Talk, we get it. You say no a lot.
Mom, can I get a tarantula? No. Coffee?
No. So we're giving you more reasons to say yes, like a free 5G phone with real unlimited data with select plan activation.
Can I use the free phone?
Yes. See? Doesn't it feel good to say yes to more?
Absolutely. Face tattoo? Absolutely not.
Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. In-store activation of Gold Unlimited plan or higher required. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Retirement, it's almost here. Are you ready? Well, join Kurt Kanodik and Ethan Lane of Accurate Solutions Group for your retirement blueprint. Let Kurt and Ethan help you plan for your retirement dreams. Don't miss your retirement blueprint, Sundays at 10. Investment advisory services offered through ASG Investment Management, LLC.
When sinusitis has your nose constantly blocked, life can feel smaller. You're stuck breathing through your mouth, which leads to sleep struggles, snoring that keeps your whole family up, fatigue, and more. The mornings start groggy, the days drag on, and it feels like nothing really helps for long. At Pittsburgh Sinus Centers, relief isn't just one size fits all. Their specialists use a wide range of innovative in-office treatments designed around you, designed to open your sinuses, restore natural breathing, and help you finally sleep through the night. You don't have to keep pushing through. If you're tired of the congestion, the pressure, and the endless cycle of sprays and pills that aren't providing relief, discover a treatment option that works for you at Pittsburgh Sinus Centers. Breathe easier, sleep better, and start feeling like yourself again. Schedule a consultation today. Call Pittsburgh Sinus Centers, 878-231-6036. 878-231-6036. That's 878-231-6036.
Colin Dunlap on KDKA.
Revival Today Church Senior Pastor Jonathan Shuttlesworth. He joins me right now. Are you controversial, or do people want to make you controversial?
If you're upset about us making noise and having traffic, why are people allowed to go completely unpermitted downtown to protest against Jews? If that's allowed to go on and almost be celebrated, then leave me alone.
Weekdays 2 to 6 on the Voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
CBS News Brief. President Trump will head to Switzerland soon, where the World Economic Forum is underway, and the hot topic is expected to be Greenland. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
They've already been talking about it as this meeting gets underway. Without him, we saw the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen say that they are going to reiterate that this is sovereign territory.
CBS News learns that the Justice Department has subpoenaed several Minnesota officials in its probe alleging immigration obstruction. CBS's Nicole Skanga on Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry.
In a statement to CBS News, Fry said when the federal government tries to intimidate local leaders for doing their jobs, every American should be concerned.
Federal Judge says Lindsay Halligan must stop using the title of top federal prosecutor in the Eastern District of Virginia. CBS's Jake Rosen.
The judge's ruling comes after a November ruling from a U.S. District Judge from South Carolina, which found that Halligan's appointment as interim U.S. Attorney in the Eastern District of Virginia was invalid.
CBS News Brief, I'm Jennifer Kuiper.
Hello, this is Sarah Botkin of Botkin Family Wealth Management, where I work with my dad and brother. Lester is a chartered financial analyst, and Dad and I are certified financial planners. A favorite client said to me last year, "Someday I'd love to take my girls and their husbands on a family trip together." This was a physician who'd retired after 40 years, and I said to him, "Someday is now." I shared that my parents did the same for my brother and me when we were in our 20s, and the memories we created are priceless. I was so happy when my client and I met again this year, and he showed me pictures from the trip. We want you not just to survive, but to thrive in retirement, to understand what your wealth can do for you and for the people you love. Saving is an important part of a healthy financial plan, but so is enjoying what you've worked for. In retirement, someday is now. Find out how we help you get maximum fulfillment from your money at botkinfamilywealth.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
Hi, I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, America's largest family law firm. During this time of year, difficult relationships sometimes become impossible. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell. Licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Clouds will increase tonight. We'll have a low of 12. Now, tomorrow will not be as cold. Cloudy and breezy with some snow and flurries in the afternoon, accumulating a coating to an inch, high 37. Still a bit of snow tomorrow night, low 31. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Brian Thompson, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Hi, everybody. McGraw-Milhaven here, host of America at Night. Be sure to tune in right here. We'll talk to a woman who has written a book about medical lawsuits and why so many of them only in the U.S. America at Night, right here with me, McGraw-Milhaven. Tonight at 10 on 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, here we go. We're up and running till 10 o'clock. You and I on the phone lines, and it's go time. 866-391-1020. Craig, West Virginia. We've got Michelle, Joe, Chuck, and we've got room for one more. 866-391-1020. Hey, Chuck. Craig, how are you? Good evening.
Sorry about getting you in trouble with the program director from Butler last night. I'm sorry about that.
No, that's okay. Andy's a good guy. Hey, listen, it's a matter of the heart. You had something very heartful to say, and you tugged at my heartstrings, and I couldn't help but think of your grandmother. So go right ahead.
Thank you very much. Let me talk about the last call with the statement that the squeaky wheel gets to grease. And the squeaky wheel gets to grease, and in the same breath came out, if you're a minority. And then all of a sudden he hit the brakes. Little word of advice. If you throw out the terms, a squeaky wheel gets to grease and you're a minority, you don't need to explain to us what party you're from. We know that already. Now, Andy was talking about how the Obama administration and the Biden administration was deporting people without immigration hearings. Guess what, Andy? You're correct. They did. Both of them did. Why they did was because if you are deported after your immigration hearing and you don't honor your 5-year waiting period to have a second chance to come into the country, and you come in 4 years and 10 months when you are picked up, you don't get a second immigration hearing. President Biden and President Obama followed the law, and they deported him without an immigration hearing. So thank you, Andy, for doing that. The reason I called tonight was because of last night's call. There was a scenario thrown out there last night about what's going on in Minnesota is exactly the same thing as if somebody in Pittsburgh committed a crime, fled to West Virginia, and got picked up in West Virginia and was extradited back to Pittsburgh. Now, if that's how that worked, that's exactly what's going on in Minnesota. But now let me tell you exactly how it works under the law. A man commits a crime in Pittsburgh, runs to Weirton, gets picked up, and next thing you know, Pittsburgh calls Weirton and says, hey, we're coming down to pick up John Doe. The Weirton cop's going to say, well, I got to ask John Doe if he's willing to be extradited or not. So guess what? The criminal has rights. Do I agree with it or disagree with it? Guess what? It doesn't matter what I think. The criminal has rights. He has two choices. He can waive the hearing in West Virginia and say, come pick me up. I'm going back to back to Pittsburgh. Or he can fight extradition. And at that point, the Pittsburgh cop has to send paperwork, the subpoenas, the affidavits, down to the governor's office. At that point, the governor will contact the prosecutor in Weirton, and a extradition hearing will be scheduled at that point. It can take up to 30 to 45 days. That's how it works. You have rights in this country, whether you like them or not. If you don't like them, then vote the people in who would change it. And the person who said that last night, I'm not going to say his name, but it rhymes with Anthony.
Okay. Now listen, one of the things that I would love to be able to do moving forward is to kind of leave every caller alone as opposed to using them either as a battering ram or even supporting what they say. Their thought process should be their own. But I guess the only way you stir the pot and get the people to call is by every once in a while exchanging, I don't know, bits and pieces of conversation. So I get it, but I hope we can do less of it moving forward and do some original thought. Because you got a lot of original thought. You don't need to mention any other caller. So go ahead, Craig, finish your thought.
All right. Yesterday, 2 American citizens were detained, incarcerated in Minneapolis. One is a war veteran. He was taken for filming the ICE agents in his own yard. A military veteran detained for 8 hours. The second one, I don't know if you've seen this video or not, 65 years old, a grandfather. They batter-rammed his door in.
I saw it.
Drug him out of the house in his underwear.
I saw it.
In his underwear. And they detained him for 5 hours. They released him after the 5th hour, after detaining him and incarcerating him. Listen, if Donald Trump would follow the law, you would never hear me call KDKA again. You wouldn't hear a peep out of me. The presidency of the United States doesn't make you who you are. It reveals who you are. That conference today was full-blown Alzheimer's. Anybody who thinks any different is Looney Tunes.
Okay. How about if we part company for at least another night, okay?
Not a problem.
All right, thanks, Craig. It reminds me of that lawnmower I would start as a kid. Took me a while to get it started, but once I got it started, it would be idling always at top speed. Look, I appreciate all of you folks, but I want you to understand, we live in the greatest country in the world. And Donald Trump will be, as I said, before you know it, on that after-dinner circuit, speaking around the world, getting millions of dollars, adding to his portfolio and his income and his family's fortune. He'll be starting new businesses. He'll do a lot of things. I wouldn't even be a bit surprised if somehow he gets his hands on one of these major cable news outlets or creates his own. And we're going to get more of Donald Trump. And we're going to, even though he won't be president, we're going to be seeing him even more. Let me just say this. Does anybody have the courage to actually give this guy a grade? I'm going to give him a B+, okay, for his first year. And it's all because of the economy. But some of the things that he has done, and I'm not a fan of what's happening with ICE. I'm not. But I get why he's trying to do what Barack Obama did, what Joe Biden did. But we have to find a way to dial it back. Now, my thought process is, the battering ram going in, bringing a guy out of the house. I wonder if it's select viewing, okay? I wonder if people are filming certain things and making sure that they go viral because as you see these protesters or alleged protesters, their numbers grow, these videos seem to grow, okay? And you don't see anybody Excuse me, it's ICE. Could you come to the door, please? It's all just violent acts. They can't all be violent acts because no one would be putting up with this anywhere in the country. And why is it that it's Minneapolis and it's Oregon? Why? What is it with these two places, especially Minneapolis? 866-391-1020. Okay, we're going to go to Joe on the south side, then Michelle, then Chuck. We'll get to you as well. Anybody else who wants to jump in here, we're in open talk until 10 o'clock. Hey, Joe, how are you? Good evening. Welcome to KDKA. Hello, Joe. Okay, Margot, see if Joe's there. Let's go to Michelle, south side. Hey, Michelle, how are you?
I am good, Ross. How are you tonight?
I am wonderful. Good to hear a voice of reason. Go right ahead.
Well, I'm a voice of reason. All right. So first of all, the other day you made a comment about Greenland and how happy they should be that, that we want to buy them or take them over. They could have the American lifestyle. And I thought that was kind of arrogant on your part. Well, maybe they don't want the American lifestyle. They're perfectly happy the way they are. And most of those Norwegian countries have better quality of living than we have. So I wanted to mention that about Greenland. And then second, to me, there's no need to be a bully about coming in there and saying we're going to take your land and this and that, or we're going to buy you.
But
I don't. You get more.
But Michelle, I know Michelle, but I don't think he's doing that. He offered them a fair price. Well, I don't think he's saying we're going to take your land.
He's like, I'm going to come take it by force. What does that mean?
Listen,
how would that be?
I know. Wait, Michelle. Wait. I know he's made some comments, but he's dialing it back. I think he's just angry because he can't get them to the table to bargain. And I think this is also for their security because they are going to be the first ones hit if we end up in war with Russia. And right now, I think the president knows more than he's really giving on. I think there is a real threat of us being invaded by Russia right now. And you can laugh that off, but I just think there's more to it, Michelle. Go ahead.
I'm not laughing that off, and I do not disregard the threat. But those people are our allies with NATO, and there's no reason you cannot work with them. They've been so gracious. Let us have, a base there, whatever. If you think those Russians are coming across through Greenland, they're also coming across through Alaska.
You're right.
And Alaska's a hell of a lot closer to Russia than Greenland. So you work out a deal with NATO in Greenland. This case scenario, if Russia does come, blah, blah, blah. And you don't have to be a bully and a bull in a china shop. It's just wrong. How would the Americans feel if France said they're coming over to take us, or Mexico's coming over to take us? So that's on Greenland.
Okay.
Now, the reason all this poop is flying in Minnesota is one thing is because Trump had a bug up his butt about the Somalians, about their representative, and he can't act like an adult, so he starts throwing the Department of Justice on them to retaliate. Second of all, there should be no sanctuary cities, and that is throughout the country. If you get an illegal immigrant and they're arrested and they're illegal, you need to call ICE. There shouldn't be any question. However, some of the people that he's trying to round up in this ICE is people that are here not legally but waiting to be either given asylum, given citizenship, or they're under a visa or some special program. And they should not be rounded up like they've come across with no documents or anything like that, because they've come, say, all the ones that came when Biden was in here.
Michelle, hold on. Go ahead. Finish your thought. We put you on hold by accident. Go ahead.
Okay. I said that for the immigrants that they're rounding up, a lot of them are seeking asylum. They're waiting for their citizenship. They're on a visa, or they're under a special thing that, say, for the Haitians. And Trump doesn't like that, so he's making them now being able to be rounded up and deported. He's withdrawing their authorization to be in the country. And the ones that are seeking asylum that Biden let in, in droves, they all turned themselves in to the immigration, started the process to seek asylum. They're following the steps. Go to here, you report the blah, 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 blah. And it takes 5 to 6 years to get your hearing. You can't be deporting those people. Now, maybe if you're deporting somebody that came in not through the asylum program or something like that, and if they've broken a law, yeah. But it comes back to his childish behavior. And I'm giving him a big, fat F.
Okay, Michelle. I'm glad you were grading on the curve. My goodness. All right. Listen, I appreciate you. You obviously do your homework. My question is, do you talk like this off the radio? Do you express your feelings like you do on the radio amongst friends, family?
Yes.
How does it approach for those who don't agree with you? I think you and I have a good relationship because I'm all about give and take. How is it perceived by family and friends?
I accept their differences. I have a lot of family and friends who are on the different political spectrum, and I love them dearly. I go on vacation with them, and I respect their opinion. We kind of don't talk about it because no friendship or family relationship is worth politics, and I know when to say enough. And it doesn't even have to be on politics. It could be any issue. It could be on abortion or something or whatever. You know when to walk away.
I get it.
No relationship is worth losing over issues.
But it's happening every day. Sadly, but it is.
Sadly, I will not let that happen. I don't care how much I disagree with you.
All right.
I would not.
I hope you.
Well, anyways, thank you, Rob.
You're welcome. Call again.
I will.
All right, Michelle. Let me get a break in here. And we got David. David, make sure you stay on point tonight, okay? Don't take me to like the Twilight Zone. You're too intelligent for me. You got to kind of dial it back a little bit. And Chuck, I got to talk to you, man. I don't know if you've thawed out or not from your UPS run today. I was talking about people who are out working in the cold. Bless each and every one of you. It's a tough job. Thank goodness you're out there doing it for us every day. 866-391-1020. We have a couple of lines available. We're talking about a ton of stuff tonight. And if you want to add any ingredient to the show, feel free. We're open for business till 10 o'clock.
When the weather turns bad, turn to us for the best news, weather, and traffic information from the KDKA Radio Storm Center. Presented by Duquesne Light Company, larger than light, and brought to you by Butler Transit Authority. Online and on the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-549-1238 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-549-1238. That's 800-549-1238. What do you have to lose? Call 800-549-1238. Again, 800-549-1238.
5 hospitals: Butler Memorial, Clarion, Frick, Latrobe, and Westmoreland. At Independence Health System, your care begins with a personal relationship between you and your primary care physician, joined by our specialists and advanced practice providers serving their own communities when you need it most. Find expert care here at Independence Health System.
When winter settles in, everything gets a little harder for our neighbors. Your support of Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank helps families stay warm and nourished with fresh, healthy food. Give today at pittsburghfoodbank.org. Give family a little more breathing room this winter. That's the power of you.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Hear about it. Then talk about it. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, we're going to get to Chuck. So, Chuck, how cold was it today on that UPS truck?
Hey, Rob, how you doing?
I'm good. How cold was it?
It was cold this morning, but like about 10:30, 11 o'clock, the wind died down and the sun come out. Like, it wasn't bad.
Good.
I was stressed for the situation.
Just another day at the office,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it was. I'm used to it.
What's on your mind tonight? What's on your mind tonight?
Well, before I get to that, who was that caller that called you before the 8 o'clock hour when he said all the years disappeared?
Gary from North Huntington.
Yeah, that's what helped make me decide I'm leaving this year.
Really?
Yes. It seemed like it was a minute ago I hit 25 years. Now I'm closing on 40. Like, no, it's time to go. No, that's all I can tell you.
I get it.
But
I get it.
It's more than my body can take. I mean, I work like 700 hours of overtime this year. Okay, I've had enough. I'm walking out the door sometime this year. But what I had called about was, when I was about maybe 9 or 10, I had a secondhand bike we got from a garage sale, ugly orange bike with the chrome fenders, and my dad rode it. I was like, let me drive it down the street, and the handlebars broke off. So he worked at J&L Steel. He says, I can fix it for you. So he took it to work, and they welded it with the giant welding machines they had. I had this knot on the front of my bike that looked like a softball. You know, it's like the most hideous bike you could ever have. But that's what we did back then, you know.
Absolutely, Chuck. That's what they did. And that's why I was talking about that earlier tonight, these resources and what they were able to do and how they helped each other, something that we don't do enough of today. Well, listen, enjoy the rest of your night, kick back, relax, and, hey, nobody would blame you after almost 40 years of hopping on and off that truck for retiring. Okay, David, West Mifflin. What's going on, David?
Hey, Rob, how you doing, buddy? My wife told me that you were saying I'd take you to the Twilight Zone. I hope I don't do that, buddy. I don't want to do that.
You just get going. I can't keep up with you. You're so fast. Anyway, what's going on?
Good, Rob. I just want to say something real quick, and I'm saying this as a proud American. I don't mean to boast. I'm very humbled to be an American. I love my country. I'm not making it about me. I served my country in the Marine Corps, in the Army, Desert Storm, Iraqi Freedom. I got a message for these Europeans, Rob, and I'm going to be as nice as I can. But I think the French need to humble themselves, and I'm going to use a French term, la savoir-faire, which means they're very arrogant, and the British drinking their tea. Where I come from in Boston, England, we dump the tea in the harbor for a reason, okay? And to the French, if it wasn't for us, you'd be speaking German and Russian right now. We spilled our blood in Europe in World War II, our forefathers, some of our grandfathers and our great-great-grandfathers, Rob, for the way they're treating us with this Greenland thing, and everybody says Trump is this, Trump is that. He's only come across as being hard-nosed and tough because of the arrogance of the Europeans. And I'm saying, yes, they're our allies, but, Rob, more times than none, they act like our frenemies. And you know what I mean by that? Like Bin Laden was a frenemy at once in Afghanistan, and so on and so forth, buddy. But I'm going to let you take the floor now, Rob.
Well, listen, Macron better realize where his bread is buttered. The president has done more than his share to help that country, as has other presidents. We've always made him get a warm welcome here, and we've always put them in the spotlight. And if you go back to your history, when de Gaulle was doing what he was doing, it's because of the American soldiers that France is still the nation that it is today. Love France. I have some of that heritage in my family. but I agree with you. I think a lot of these countries like Denmark and Finland, and I hope in Switzerland over the next couple of days, they have a chance to break some bread and understand, and I got to go to a break, Dave. Thank you for the call. But I hope that they understand that the president, as much as he is doing for this nation when it comes to our national security, he's also helping them. So don't be so arrogant, because here's what could happen. You've got a guy that's bullish on America right now, and whether you know it or not, he is starting to get things done to where more can be done in America, like the Nippon U.S. Steel deal, to where there may be a time that we could actually go in reverse and start making everything or most of it here to where we won't need these other countries. And if you lose our business, how are you going to stay in business? Something you need to think about. 866-391-1020. Final hour. Your calls moments away after CBS Radio News.
The Big K Morning Show with Larry Richards.
This is one full year since United States Senator Dave McCormick took office, and he joins us.
As the CEO, you have to report back to your shareholders. Hey, what did you promise? How did you do? What went well? What didn't go so well? And what can we expect going forward? And I thought that would be a good way to try to report.
Weekday mornings 5:30 to 10 on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Life-changing medicine is happening every day at UPMC Heart and Vascular Institute.
We have the luxury to be bold, to continue to be pioneers in the world for innovative heart care.
We are the place of discovery. Literally, the world experts in cardiac care are in this institution.
By combining technology, research, and the latest innovations, patients from all over the world come to UPMC.
Because of the expertise that exists here at UPMC, it allows us to take on patients that have been turned down at other centers.
We offer unique heart procedures that you cannot get anywhere else. One of our founding mantras is that compassion has to be at the forefront of everything that we do.
From leading the region in cardiac procedures to being the only center in the state to offer integrated women's health and heart care, UPMC is pioneering life-changing cardiac care every day. Your heart care matters. Visit upmc.com/heart to learn more.
Paramount Plus is the new home of UFC, and we're coming out swinging with UFC 324.
Oh, what a shot!
And 325 on back-to-back weekends. The new era is here.
It's time!
Every fight.
Bam! Let's go.
One subscription.
Oh my goodness!
Pay-per-view just got knocked out.
Let's go.
Back-to-back blockbuster UFC events this month, only on Paramount Plus.
Is somebody in the family fighting a cold? Pick up a bottle of Sniper, a hospital-grade disinfectant that kills germs, bacteria, and viruses that are flourishing this time of year. Sniper is available at participating True Value hardware stores or visit disinfectwithsniper.com.
100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA, covered by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 platinum roofing company.
Happy New Year, Susan. I really appreciate you picking up the bill for lunch.
I'm happy to. One of my New Year's resolutions is being better with money. So I've started using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for buying gas.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I earn cash back just for buying the gas I was already buying.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play and start earning cash back on everyday gas purchases. Use promo code EVENT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents per gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code EVENT for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code EVENT. Code EVENT.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
KDKA and KDKA-FM HD2 Pittsburgh. W261AX Pittsburgh.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Aetna Medicare studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
This is CBS News on the Hour,
your home for original reporting. I'm Christopher Cruz in Washington. We begin tonight with breaking news. Federal prosecutor Lindsay Halligan is stepping down. The news came in a social media post from Attorney General Pam Bondi. Halligan's 120-day tenure as interim U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia had expired, and judges were raising questions about the legitimacy of her appointment. President Trump is traveling to Davos, Switzerland for the World Economic Forum. With tensions high over Greenland and threatened tariffs on EU nations, he may not get the warmest of welcomes. A preview from CBS's Cammie McCormick.
Some European leaders are pushing for action directly targeting Trump's tariff threats. Others are signaling a more lasting step is needed.
Europe is at a crossroads where it has to decide. Until now, we tried to appease the new president in the White House.
But Belgium's prime minister, who will meet with Trump tomorrow, is among many who are reassessing the U.S.-European alliance.
So many red lines are being crossed.
That includes Trump's desire to take over Greenland.
The House Oversight Committee is expected to vote to charge former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton with contempt of Congress for refusing to testify as the committee investigates Jeffrey Epstein.
Republican Committee Chair James Comer says he turned down an offer from the Clintons' attorney seeking a compromise on the deposition drama. Comer says he dismissed an offer from the former president to testify before only the chair and the ranking committee Democrat with no official transcript. But a spokesperson for Clinton says he never said no to a transcript and accused the committee of trying to protect, quote, you-know-who, end quote. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
It's now been a year since a measles outbreak in West Texas killed 2 children and made hundreds of others sick. While that outbreak is over, another in South Carolina is getting worse. And for the first time in a quarter century, the U.S. is in danger of losing its measles-free status. Details from CBS's Skylar Henry.
Doctors say this sustained spread is exactly what threatens the U.S.'s measles elimination status. They say stopping transmission depends on early detection, vaccinations, and, of course, preventing outbreaks like the one we're seeing in South Carolina.
The winter storm that's been pummeling the Great Lakes region and upstate New York is only going to get worse. CBS's Tom Hansen is in Hamburg, New York.
Folks here are used to snowy winters, of course, but what we just saw today was a particularly strong band of storms. We are also expecting another system to blow through this area later this week. That means even more snow and no relief from winter yet.
It was a tough day on Wall Street after President Trump threatened tariffs on EU nations that refused to support his effort to annex Greenland. The Dow was down 1 3/4%. This is CBS News.
Follow and listen to CBS News Roundup on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-932-5858. That's 800-932-5858. 800-932-5858.
2 old playgrounds in Texas are getting new lives, bringing joy to children in other countries.
The city of McKinney, north of Dallas, recently opened 2 new playgrounds and is donating its old ones to Project Playground, which ships the equipment to communities in developing countries.
We like to say we build playgrounds for kids who've never seen them.
CEO Matt Clayton started Project Playground 20 years ago in Bolivia.
Seeing those kids play on the first time is a high.
He says many of the donations go to communities without electricity or running water.
I cry every time. Kids are like, oh, someone cares about me.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Witness testimony has ended in the trial of a former Uvalde, Texas school police officer. Adrian Gonzalez is accused of failing in his duty to stop a gunman in the critical first minutes of the Robb Elementary School attack. In 2022, an 18-year-old entered the school and killed 19 students and 2 teachers. Closing arguments are scheduled for tomorrow. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
It's going to be cold again tonight as it turns out cloudy, a low of 12. Cloudy, breezy, and not as cold tomorrow. We'll have some intermittent snow and flurries in the afternoon, which could coat the ground, a high of 37. Still some snow into tomorrow night, low 31. For AccuWeather, I'm Brian Thompson, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
All right, 866-391-1020. Here's Shane in the car. Shane, I haven't heard from you in a while. Hope you're well. Good evening, and welcome to KDK with your Pratt Pack. Good to hear from you.
Hey, Rob. It's been a long time. Good to get the call in. I haven't got to tune in a little while. Obviously a lot happening in the world, a lot going on. From, ICE protests around the country to Venezuela and Iran and now Greenland, all kind of play into each other for different reasons, all about national security and, the ever-changing war. We're living in transcendent times. And like him or hate him, our president is our president of our country, and he's shaking up the world in a major, major way. But the one thing that I don't think is getting paid attention enough to, and not really being talked about much on the news, I did hear on the CBS News report about how the stock market took a downward turn today, and they essentially blamed it on the the tariff hikes and the tariff, the threat of tariff hikes. But the price of gold going up to a record high, over $4,800, and silver nearing $100, also has major implications on, what's changing in the world. Maybe even a new financial system, getting away from fiat currency. It's just something to consider. It's not something. I'm not trying to fearmonger or make a run on banks or anything like that. But I do think that there are. It's an ever-changing world from global tensions and money is a way to play the game, and you could see moves being made already in the background of people that know what's going on, know more than us. So I just wanted to see your thoughts on, gold being so high, and silver getting high.
Look, Shane, you're a guy in your 30s with a young family. You are plugged in. And there are things happening in the world right now, whether it's local, national, international. When you start connecting the dots, it's almost like the late 30s. It's almost like the turn of the 19th going into the 20th century. It's frightening right now. And I think we are circling our wagons in this country to be prepared for the worst. And I think we all have to accept the fact that a world war is knocking on our front door. And it's a scary thing, but I would rather face it head on and be prepared than bury our head in the sand and not be prepared.
That's exactly more or less what I'm getting at. We can't turn away from it. We have to, take it head on and prepare ourselves as best as we can for it. Not acting in fear, but acting in responsible way. I do think also that, if you're having a major war potentially on the brink, which it definitely isn't not a conspiracy to believe that, financial things in the background usually have another implication on that. Usually if there's a financial crisis, a war comes to either help that financial crisis in a positive way or to kind of blame that financial crisis on the war. So they're both coming to a head. So it's just it's odd to me though that the mainstream media is really not talking about the gold and the silver as much as they should be, I think. But maybe it's because they don't want to cause tensions of fear. So.
Well, somebody should be paying attention to what's happening everywhere, because I think our economy could actually benefit in the weeks and months and years to come with deals like Nippon and U.S. Steel, and we have to focus on that. But look, I'm sure that in the next 2 or 3 callers, and I have a feeling the next one is going to really rail on the president, that's okay. Because I think whether we like the man or not, or we like what's happening in the country or not, if I can get people motivated to call and speak their mind. You always settle things in America by communicating. And if I can get a guy in his 30s to call me on his way home after a long day, then I've done my job. And I can also tell, Shane, that you've done your job, because when I was your age, I wasn't paying attention to gold and silver. And you know what? We need more young people to be paying attention to that, because you are going to be running the economy in the next handful of years. It's going to be left up to you to keep America moving in the right direction. So kudos to you.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, buddy. Have a good night. All right, let's get to Mike in Center Township. Mike, go ahead.
Hi, Rob.
How you doing, bud?
First-time caller. Good. I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Rob, I guess there's several things about this Greenland thing.
Okay.
Number one, if he decides to use military force and go into Greenland, we lose our allies. We lose NATO. We're out there on an island by ourselves. The other thing is, specifically in the UN Charter, it says that no sovereign nation can attack another nation for political or territorial reasons. I don't know what the advantage of taking Greenland is. And I know what you said as far as security and the ice caps melting and stuff like that. But if we lose, think about the money, the cost that it's going to take a toll on the American people to do something like this. You're going to lose your foreign trade. You're going to lose NATO. You're going to lose Europe. And that's significant money. The United States pulled many bases out of Greenland years ago. All they have to do is say, hey, we want to install more bases there. Why do we have to spend $700 billion? Where are we going to get it from, number one, to do that? And who are we? And let's say we do that. Who are we going to align ourselves with? Russia? China? Because you're going to lose all our allies. I just don't understand the philosophy behind it.
Well, listen, you have a good argument, and I totally understand where you're coming from. I don't think we're going to invade. I think it's just the art of the deal. I think he's trying to push the envelope to get their attention, just like he did with Doge, just like he did with the tariffs, because as you know, Delta Force went into Venezuela when no one expected that. He wouldn't be showing his cards the way he's doing it, and I bet you by the time he gets back from Switzerland, there will be a deal in the works. And the reason he wants to spend money, because he sees something of value there or something of national security. I don't know what it is. I don't understand why he'd offer $700 billion when we're $37 trillion in debt. But there's got to be more to this than you and I know. But I don't think he's going to invade. I think that's just him and his art of the deal. You may not appreciate it. I respect that. But, Mike, I'm telling you, there's more to this story.
You know what? If there is, I sure can't figure out, for the life of me, Greenland. I just can't figure out for the life of me. And Greenland has already said, we're not interested. If you want to bring bases here, fine. We're not interested in you taking over our country.
Let me ask you, I know who you are. Let me ask you something, and I've appreciated all of the DMs and everything that you're doing, and it's nice that I've got you thinking about this stuff, and that means I've done my job. But you were a politician at one time, man about town, good husband, good family man. Let me ask you this. What flipped the switch to make you really start thinking about the big picture? Because, Mike, you're a great guy. I just never thought that you were on this wavelength. What is it that is making you think about these big stories right now? What flipped the switch? Can I ask?
I'll tell you what it is. It's the lack of control that this Congress has let our president get away with. He is unstoppable. No matter what he does, no matter what he says, they go along with him. Now, take Venezuela. Okay, yeah, you got a dictator out of there. They still have the same regime. He says they're getting along good now, but what has changed? He's bombing boats that can't even get to America, saying that they're drug boats. They can't even get to America. They're going to foreign countries. They're going to Europe and everywhere else. Not that it's good. I understand that. But he's out of control. He does whatever he wants. He says whatever he wants. And the other thing, and if you saw that today, is that this problem that we're having in the United States, that he's sending the military, the National Guard, he has ramped up this level of violence in this country. It's under his watch. It doesn't matter. It does matter in the sense that, look, we do have criminals in there, and I don't think anybody's against removing illegal aliens that are criminals. I don't think anybody, not even Democrats, all right? But he has ramped up the rhetoric and the anger so much that we got our own people fighting each other. He's worried about every other country in the world, and our country is in turmoil. Spend all your resources. Our health care is crazy. Our food prices aren't going down. I give him credit for gas. Our food prices aren't going down. Our farmers are suffering. Our young people can't afford a 401k. They just can't make it. They can't buy houses. They can't do anything. And he is ramping up all of this rhetoric, telling people how beautiful it is and what a great job he's done for America. And I don't know who he's done it for. The rich? It's just his lack of accountability.
But now
okay,
Mike. But now that's okay. But I just got to jump in here. I got to get to a break. But now midterms are around the bend, and after that, it's game, set, match. The country will not have him as president within 2.5, 3 years. He'll be done, not literally, but they'll already be racing for the White House. And I've said this before. This is where John Shapiro has to really step up, get through the gubernatorial race, and may the best opponent win. Because I think Stacey Garrity's got a lot of good qualities, and I think it'll be a hard-fought gubernatorial race because she's going to bring some heavy hitters and some issues to the table, and it's going to make him work for it. But if he's on the ticket in 2028, he's got my vote because he's the last bastion to save the Democratic Party, which I'm a proud member of, and I don't want it to be Gavin Newsom, and it seems right now they're putting a lot of faith in this guy as far as knocking the Republican Party, meaning J.D. Vance or Rubio, whoever they want to put up next time in 2028. But just what I'm telling you, don't let this make you lose sleep. Whether you agree or disagree with me or anything that's happening, he will not be there more than a handful of years. And this will be nothing but a memory before you know it. That's it.
Okay, hey, I will love to carry this conversation on again. I appreciate your time. I know you got to go, but I enjoyed the conversation. Thank you.
All right, Michael. Appreciate it. I've known Mike a long time, and he's one of these guys that you just, he cares about the community, ran for office when he didn't need to. He's a good guy, good human being, okay? I like him a lot. And all of a sudden, I started noticing all this stuff, and I'm like, man, I must really be getting to these people because I'm hearing from people that I never thought I would hear from, talking about things like Greenland and the economy and what's going on with Doge and all this other stuff. But that's good. That's good. That's why I let people speak. I'm respectful. I give everybody a chance to speak their mind. My job is to basically get you to get into the game, and that's what you're doing. All right, Denise on the north side, feel free. Stay with me or call back later, whatever you want to do. But I got lots more before we get to the top of the hour, so stay with us. 866-391-1020.
When you need to talk, we're here for you. Always have been. News Radio KDKA.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. After suffering an injury, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? At Morgan & Morgan, we will hold your hand every step of the way. From our one-click sign-up, mobile apps, and 24/7 availability, we make it easy to get your case started right from the comfort of your couch. All firms are not the same. The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Why would a guy in financial services pick a fight with the financial industry? Because in many cases, the system they built works more for them than it does for you. Tune in for a new kind of retirement show with Greg Ayler. Now at a new time, Saturdays at 5 on the Voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
The popularity of cremation is on the rise. Unfortunately, so is the cost. I'm Dustin D'Alessandro, supervisor and funeral director. To keep the costs down, the Thomas M. Smith Funeral Home and Crematory Limited in Blawnox and the D'Alessandro Funeral Home and Crematory Limited in Lawrenceville have on-site crematories. By performing the cremation on-site without losing custody of the remains, our funeral homes can defray those costs and pass the savings on to you. Our fee for a direct cremation is only $1,250. This low-cost, direct cremation offer is available to all residents of Allegheny County. Surrounding counties will incur a slight additional fee based on mileage. Contact us with questions or to schedule an appointment by calling the Blawnox office at 412-828-5700 or our Lawrenceville office at 412-682-6500. Our websites are thomasmsmithfuneralhome.com and delisandroltd.com.
Listen to KDKA Radio on the Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
All right, so let me talk to you about what was then and what is now. You know, we began the program talking about basically skill set and how when I was growing up, you know, you didn't pay for somebody to fix something in the house. You had somebody who worked with your father in the mill that would come in and do the work. So this is also another reason why I want to bring up this aspect of it, kind of like the bookend, how we started the show and how we're going to end the show tonight. What amazes me about the youth of America, and that's why I will never give up on America or the youth of the future generations, and I have some children who are going to be a part of that. I started later, and I have young children. I have a 24-year-old, 26-year-old, a 34-year-old with 3 of his own, right? Married to a wonderful woman, doing extremely well. They're all doing better than their old man, and that's a good thing. But how is it that we live in a world that we can't get certain jobs filled, but we have young people who have found a way to cash in social media? Do you realize, and I scroll and I have a very healthy social media platform across the board. I'm on all brands. That's right, from YouTube, X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I'm everywhere, okay? How is it that you have young people who have 1 million subscribers? That little person down the street that used to wait at the school bus with your children is now a conglomerate, driving a high-priced Lamborghini, living in a big house, getting millions of views. There are some people that actually have people watch them play games, Xbox, PlayStation, just basically with a single camera over their shoulder, and they're getting millions of views, and they're getting lots of money. Look, I have a lot of subscribers, and I've never really tried to go get money because it's just not my purpose right now. Maybe once I retire from this great brand that is KDKA, maybe then, okay? But right now, it's just about promoting and helping and supporting. But if you have young people today who can make some of the most incredible content that I've ever seen, and you're talking to an old guard, someone that has been in this business since the late 70s, early 80s, and I've done everything. I've done national TV, I've done local TV, I've been at the premier radio station in the world, the pioneer broadcasting station to America. I've done play-by-play, I do lifestyle shows, I can do news talk. I've done it all because I had to stay in this business and to evolve. If you're not evolving, you're getting left behind. But I am absolutely, positively blown away when I see, and I'll see something. My own daughter has done stuff on TikTok and got 1 million views. And she just basically has an everyday type of job and has no interest in cashing in. She's amazing. And her editing skills are better than most of the people that I've worked with in television my entire life. And I've worked with some of the best. But do you realize now the power that you all have to change the course of America? If you do it respectful, you get that social media tool like a power tool, such as a chainsaw. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again to make my point. When that chainsaw is used properly, it's the greatest tool ever invented. When it's not, it can be deadly. But you have a chance. You have a voice. That's what makes talk radio important now more than ever. Do you understand? I had calls tonight, just in the last half hour, from a 37-year-old and Mike, who I know, who's a few years younger than me. So I have the full spectrum, the gambit of people from all walks of life calling me, of all races, religious beliefs, zeros at the end of their name, their income, their investments. Some are living paycheck to paycheck, as we all do at one time or another in our life. To those of us who have been around long enough and have finally figured out you got to save a little to have a little, right? But I see these young people today doing things on social media that absolutely are amazing. How they're able to put these things together and get their message out. I see. The other thing, too, is who's ever going to make it in the entertainment world these days? Who's going to be the next big actor or actress? Who's going to be the next Taylor Swift or Bruno Mars? I mean, who? because you have people out there that are singing karaoke that are superstars waiting to be discovered. You have people that have become icons in the world of social media that have more views than people who are walking the red carpet. I just saw an interview with Ben Affleck talking about his new movie on Netflix with Matt Damon. He said, streaming. He said, I love it. He said, I can do it in my home. He said, you take your family of four to a movie, it's $100. You're at home, it's $10, and you get to watch everything. Look, I finally have come over to Landman and Billy Bob Thornton on Paramount Plus, my favorite streaming service. And I've watched 3 episodes. And I started in the second season because I didn't see any of the first season. It's great. He's Bad Santa in a cowboy hat. It's fantastic. And I was thinking about having that content in my home to where it's basically the modern day version of Dallas, but even better. Demi Moore's in it. Really, I mean, it's fantastic. And Billy Bob Thornton, after an incredible career that he has done just about everything, and I mean anything and everything, and worked pretty much year-round, year after year after year. Guy a little bit younger than me, even tours with his own musical group. He's been at Jelly Rolls a few times here. He's finally struck gold, or should I say oil. This will cement him, but more importantly, it will give him paychecks and residuals that his great-great-great-grandkids won't be able to spend. And it really is a good show. Taylor Sheridan, once again, everything that guy touches, it's unbelievable. But Jeremy Renner, mayor of Kingstown, absolutely fell in love with one of my favorite shows out there. But I go back to like Shameless and Ray Donovan. I plug into these things, and I get to watch them in my own free time, which is little at times, but I can watch 10 minutes, 20 minutes. But we're living in a different world now. What I'm trying to say is, if we have all of this technology, and now you hear Netflix offering Warner Brothers like $72 billion in cash to take over everything, there's money out there. There's things happening in the world of entertainment. You see young people who have found a way to become a voice in the world of social media. You hear them calling me on talk radio. Talk radio, again, I think is the single most important platform out there right now. And this brand that is Odyssey, podcast, all the things that they're doing, off the charts. And it's only going to get bigger and better. And what's great about this talk radio and KDKA, and yeah, I'm a little biased, you get immediacy. Something happens, bang, we're on it, you hear about it. That's as immediate as it gets. Real bodies talking local, talking big stories, how it's affecting us locally. And we've done everything these last 2 nights. We've talked about the O'Connor administration. We've talked about Greenland, talked about Venezuela. We've talked about, what the mayor's trying to do, bringing back Main Street, how he's trying to red up Pittsburgh, what is needed to get Pittsburgh jump-started again. And I got more on that on the other side of the news. We've done it all. And that's what's so great about this. And for once, when I ask you to grade the president 1 year in his second term, I only got really one flat F, and that was from Michelle. And Michelle did her homework, and she brought enough to the table to be able to say that. But I think when you look at this guy, even though Mike was saying moments ago, and I don't like talking about callers, but I had some really good callers in the last hour, that he's getting away with all of this stuff. You know why? Because it's not politics 101. He's not following the guidelines that we've been following for 50 plus years, if not longer. And I got to tell you, since the 70s and Richard Milhouse Nixon left the White House in disgrace, we've lost everything, including our self-respect in this country. So maybe we need someone to kind of rattle the bushes a little bit, just enough to kind of give us that wake-up call. But when he leaves, the people who are waiting to take over can come back to some traditional politics after we have shaken things up a bit. Because you know as well as I do, this country needed a swift kick. We were definitely going in the wrong direction. 866-391-1020. We'll be back.
Hi, I'm Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, America's largest family law firm. During this time of year, difficult relationships sometimes become impossible. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
Pittsburgh and Cranberry Township. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Planning for retirement isn't easy. If you don't know where to start, join Beth Andrews of Net Worth Advisors every Saturday at 1 for the Net Worth Financial Hour. Beth shares helpful tips and strategies that just might change the course of your retirement. Listen every Saturday at 1 to the Net Worth Financial Hour with Beth Andrews of Net Worth Advisors. Net Worth Advisors, LLC, is a registered investment advisor.
Hi, this is Father Tom Burke of the Diocese of Pittsburgh. Join me for Catholic Education Plus this Sunday morning at 6:30 as we spotlight our Catholic schools and faith formation programs. Catholic Education Plus is sponsored by Sam and Judy Spanos and the Catholic Diocese of Pittsburgh.
For generations, you've listened to us in your kitchen, catching baseball games on your front porch, and ending your day as your bedtime buddy. Now, you can watch us every day on your TV with our new KDKA Radio YouTube page or by clicking on KDKARadio.com. It's presented by Metropolitan Windows. Same great content, more live visuals. The voice of Pittsburgh, 100.1 FM and AM 1020. KDKA.
From the Aetna Medicare Studios.
Proud to be the voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
CBS News Brief. Lindsay Halligan is leaving her position after a federal judge barred her from, quote, masquerading as a federal prosecutor. CBS's Jake Rosen.
A November ruling from a U.S. District Judge from South Carolina found that Halligan's appointment as interim U.S. Attorney in the Eastern District of Virginia was invalid and violated the Constitution's appointment clause.
President Trump will soon head to Switzerland for the World Economic Forum, where he'll likely get an earful about his plan to annex Greenland. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick spoke with CBS News about the island.
I would say it this way: the Western Hemisphere is fundamental to the health and national security of the United States of America. Our national security people are on it.
A powerful storm is pounding the area from the Great Lakes region to upstate New York. CBS's Tom Hansen is in Hamburg, New York.
Well, the National Weather Service has extended a winter storm warning just to the north of us, and I can tell you from driving around this area, the wind and the snow has been relentless.
CBS News Brief.
So why will your kitchen from Petite be different? You know, Barry, people get the help they need to visualize the kitchen of their dreams. What kind of help? Design help, interior design help, and Petite eliminates the nightmare remodeling for a surprisingly great price. That's right. No more worries about how, when, or what happens if something goes wrong. Our installation department eliminates the worries and makes sure the project goes smooth as silk. It really is from custom creation to expert installation. You get the kitchen of your dreams without the worry. That's it. A quality new kitchen with some features that you won't find anywhere else and the expertise to make it happen. Call Petite Kitchen and Bath Design Center today at 412-279-2222. That's 412-279-2222. Haven't you waited long enough? PA 625.
When you're handling an estate or an inherited home, the decisions can feel overwhelming. At Homebuyers of Pittsburgh, we help families through this every single week. We make a quick, fair cash offer on the home, coordinate any cleanouts, help you through the process, and we'll buy it in its current condition. No pressure, no surprises. Visit homebuyersoftpittsburgh.com or call 412-500-9057 for help selling today. That's 412-500-9057 for help selling today.
Homebuyers of Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh's local trusted homebuyer since 2015.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
The KDKA AccuWeather forecast is brought to you by JP Roofing and Siding, Pittsburgh's #1 Platinum Preferred Roofing Replacement Contractor. Call 412-829-7711.
Clouds will increase tonight. We'll have a low of 12. Now, tomorrow will not be as cold. Cloudy and breezy with some snow and flurries in the afternoon, accumulating a coating to an inch, high 37. Still a bit of snow tomorrow night, low 31. For AccuWeather, I'm meteorologist Brian Thompson, 100.1 FM and AM 1020 KDKA.
Hi, this is Larry Richard. Join us on the Big K Morning Show tomorrow, 5:30 until 10. The KDK Radio Storm Center will be open again because of the extreme temps, and we'll give you a chance to win tickets to the Pittsburgh Travel Showcase presented by AAA.
State Rep Abigail Salisbury, this in the Post-Gazette, and I saw this earlier today, is calling on the state to investigate Woodland Hills School District for misuse of taxpayer money. Allegations that school district leaders are pushing back against and saying they are not true. In a statement released on Facebook, Ms. Salisbury said she was deeply concerned about concerns community members voiced in recent weeks around accusations of misuse of taxpayer dollars, as well as the district superintendent being placed on paid leave for several months without any explanation from the school board. This story will play itself out. But let me tell you, the last thing we need is this. School districts are suffering across this great country. And, you know, Woodland Hills is truly one of the success stories, the early mergers that brought so many schools together and has had much success. So I hope that that thing gets figured out sooner or later. It's good that she brought it to the attention of people in her district and really this area. And I'm hoping that the allegations aren't true, but if they are, allegedly at this point, they figure it out. School districts right now are under siege. I don't know how they're surviving. 866-391-1020. Here's the ever-popular TJ in Carrick. Hey, TJ.
Hey, you know how I feel about Trump's first term. It is something we've never seen in our lives, Rob. I know that for sure. You're a little bit older than me. This guy is a total phenom. The media can't keep up with him at all because every day the story changes that fast. He's got the liberals and the Democrat Party. They're going to be in a straitjacket by the time he's done with his term. He's got them so rattled they can't even make the protest signs fast enough. Every protest sign is different every day. I mean, I don't know. I can't believe Trump is on fire for everything. And if we don't get Greenland, guess what, Rob? Russia gets Greenland. If we don't get Greenland, China gets Greenland. So Trump is going to get Greenland no matter how. And all these haters that don't like Trump, he's doing this, he's doing that, he shouldn't be blowing up narco. The story changes, so the guy is on fire. I can't believe this guy. And everything that he does, everybody that voted for him, the 77 million people that voted for him, we love every single. We don't regret one thing. Could you imagine if the guy from Minnesota, Walz, if he would have got in there with Kamala, they would have hid all this corruption that's going on. We would have never known about what was going on. And that maybe they had it planned that way because that's what they were using, that area. But the corruption that's going on in this country. Hey, Rob, I live in Pittsburgh since I was born. I'm wondering if that same problem is not just going on in Minnesota, but if it's going on throughout the entire country. Why are all the businesses that we knew growing up, Rob? They're all the business that they're all owned by foreigners now. Did the government give these people grants to buy the American business off of people? That's what I think they did. They gave all these foreigners that they brought in grants that they didn't have to pay back enough to buy all the American businesses. Because it's beer distributors, it's all everything, motels, convenience stores, beer stores, every single thing is owned by people from foreign countries because the government gave them. So we've been sold out. We've been fleeced. The American people have been fleeced of all their money, and now their businesses are gone to foreigners in the United States. It's sickening. But Donald Trump I love Donald Trump. He's the greatest president. I've seen 7 rallies. I went to the rally in Butler. Not even an assassin's bullet can stop Donald Trump. He's just on fire. The guy's the greatest, and it's driving the Democrats. Oh, Rob, you still there?
I'm here.
Rob, I'll finish up because I know I don't have too much time.
No, I'm going to let you get it out of your system. Go ahead.
Rob, I'm inviting you. I would hope, because this Democrat Party right now, they don't stand up for what you believe in. Everything that they stand for, you are against. I don't know why you're still with the Democrat. I'm wanting you to come to the Republican Party, because that Democrat Party is not the party of my mother, your mother, and our grandmothers. This party has been stolen from outsiders, and they're using the Democrat Party to bring America to its knees. They're not looking to help the country. They're looking to hurt the country.
Okay, TJ, take a breath. I'm going to say goodnight now, okay?
See you, brother.
All right, man. Got to let these folks get it out of their system. I wouldn't want them to be up all night with indigestion of the mind, okay? All right, now I get a chance to jump in here. On a much more lighter note, you know who would have turned 100 today? And if anybody remembers her, please call me, because I don't want to be the only one here, okay? Patricia Neal was born on this date, January 20th, 1926. And my father would be coming in that very same year in October, and my mother a couple of years later. So I was home today doing some business from the home studio, and I usually try to sit down and have at least one cup of coffee for 20 minutes, do some reading, just decompress, and I turn on the television, and as it always is, it ends and starts my day looking at news and sports. And I said, no. I don't want none of that. Give me a half hour. So, boom, went to Turner Classic Movies. And it was her. Movie with John Wayne, couple of movies with Gary Cooper, who she had an affair with forever, and actually sadly had a nervous breakdown because he wouldn't leave his wife. And then she ended up getting married and had children and lived a very happy and healthy life. And I saw an interview with Robert Osgood from a couple of years ago, and I just love Patricia Neal. So I'm just wondering, how many of you remember Patricia Neal in my audience? I can't be the only one, okay? But I'll tell you, she was in one of my favorite movies of all time. And I'm here tonight drinking Newman's Own coffee that you can get at Coons Market. And, you know, everything that they sell, from spaghetti sauce to coffee, it all goes to charity, right? About $500 million has been raised. That was started by Joanne Woodward and Paul Newman many years ago, and now his children kind of carry on the great message. And whenever I'm at Coons Market, if I can get Newman's Own, I'm going to get it, right? Well, I was thinking about her today, and my first memory of her was not until she would have been close to 40. You know, she would have been like a Jennifer Lawrence of that time. And Jennifer Lawrence is in her, 30s now, and she's probably the biggest star in Hollywood, female star right now. And I mean, there would be those who would argue that, you know, but I think, in my opinion, I think she's the most versatile. I think she's just an incredible talent, and I think the best is yet to come. But she can do it all. She can do comedy. She can do drama. She can do a little bit of everything. She's that good. But kind of reminds me of, you know, Patricia Neal. So I was trying to think today while channel surfing, and I'd go back and she'd be in a movie. And these were movies like when she was in her 20s, like at the start of the 50s. And she was starring with the biggest names in the industry. And one of them was Gary Cooper. She did have that affair with. And just, I don't know, it really beat her up physically and emotionally and mentally and spiritually to where she ended up seeking medical treatment. But all's well that ends well. She got better. She went back to New York, started on Broadway, and kind of really got going again. But I realized today where it was that I saw her for the first time and kind of had a little bit of a boy crush on her. It wasn't the original in 1963 because I was too young, but probably I was like a sophomore or junior in high school, and it was one of those winter nights like tonight, and because of my 5 sisters, I brokered a deal with my grandmother to come and stay with her because I would go to her house. We'd get juiced up on Maxwell House coffee. She'd make these big slices of toast with butter, and we watched like the late show when you only had one, and it was the $1 Million Movie, and it was seen locally on Channel 4, and it was HUD with Paul Newman, filmed in black and white in the early 60s. I don't know how many of you remember that movie, but he was cantankerous in it. And she was like beautiful. I mean, and just a great actress and steamy and sexy and smart. And there was just this vibrato about her. And I was like, now I know where I saw her. So today it's been popping up because of the algorithms. You know, you're thinking things, you mention things. And she's been gone since 2010. But she also starred in something else that started coming back to me. I actually fell in love with a CBS television show called The Waltons back in the day, in the 70s. Richard Thomas, you know, you remember that John Boy, that whole thing, right? Living on Walton's Mountain, Ralph Waite, Michelle Lerner, or Michael Lerner, whatever you want to call it, but I think it was Michelle. But they did a pilot, a Christmas pilot, before it actually became a television series, and Patricia Neal played the wife, the mother of the children. So Patricia Neal had an incredible career, just absolutely amazing. But it was the movie HUD that came back to me earlier today, and then I was thinking about her recently because this stuff started popping up, and I remember her from the pilot version of The Waltons, which would eventually go on to become a very successful CBS television show that ran for 8 years. And let me tell you, you know a TV show's good when you can remember when it aired. Like Thursday nights, CBS, you had Carol Burnett, you had The Waltons, just like yesterday. Anyway, 866-391-1020, couple of open lines for the first time tonight. We'll come back one more segment before we say goodnight on this wintry Tuesday. Your Pratt Pack KDKA.
It's the little things, the information you need, people you know, the little things that make a big difference. The voice of Pittsburgh. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
Life-changing medicine is happening every day at UPMC Heart and Vascular Institute.
We have the luxury to be bold, to continue to be pioneers in the world for innovative heart care.
We are the place of discovery. Literally, the world experts in cardiac care are in this institution.
By combining technology, research, and the latest innovations, patients from all over the world come to UPMC.
Because of the expertise that exists here at UPMC, it allows us to take on patients that have been turned down at other centers.
We offer unique heart procedures that you cannot get anywhere else.
One of our founding mantras is that compassion has to be at the forefront of everything that we do.
From leading the region in cardiac procedures to being the only center in the state to offer integrated women's health and heart care, UPMC is pioneering life-changing cardiac care every day. Your heart care matters. Visit upmc.com/heart to learn more.
Crowded waiting rooms, 5 rushed minutes with the doctor. No real answers, just solutions that mask symptoms. For so many, that's what healthcare has become. In and out, no time, no connection. Just another appointment on the schedule. At Pittsburgh Sinus Centers, it's different. They take the time to listen, explain, and design a plan built around you. Because real relief starts with understanding what's really going on, not just treating the surface. From allergy testing to in-office sinus and nasal procedures, their experienced team uses the latest technology and a personal touch to help you breathe, sleep, and live better. Here, you're not just another number. You're the reason they do what they do. Discover a better way to feel better, one that's built around you. Pittsburgh Sinus Centers. Schedule a consultation today. Call Pittsburgh Sinus Centers, 878-231-4950. 878-231-4950. That's 878-231-4950.
SchultzFord.com. 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 SchultzFord.com.
Everything you need, every time you listen. 100.1 FM and AM 1020, KDKA.
All right, before we get out of here, one other thing on a lighthearted note. Guess who turned 80 years of age recently? I can't believe it. The great Dolly Parton. Look, I'm madly in love with Dolly Parton. Yeah, and it has nothing to do with her country music, which she's great at, but 9 to 5. I remember seeing that movie decades ago, and to this day, Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, Dolly Parton, the greatest triple threat in the history of the motion picture industry. That was great. And, you know, this is the other thing that I just can't wrap my brain around. You know, we were talking about 20 years that kind of gets away from you, and you wake up one day and you're like, where'd it go? I can't believe Jane Fonda's like 86. She looks great, but I can't believe it. Dolly Parton is 80. She looks fantastic. Can't believe it. Look, I saw Lily Tomlin. I've always loved Lily Tomlin. I've actually did a couple of little things back and forth with her that I actually knew I was talking to her and, get a hold of my booking agent, all this other stuff. And I thought, you know what? I get Lily Tomlin on KDKA Radio. I won't be able to handle it. I mean, I'll melt because I love her. I mean, from laughing, I just love her. But I saw a movie she did many, many years ago. She was beautiful. When I look at Lily Tomlin, I think of, like a Carol Burnett, just that physical humor, right? And saw it obviously with Lucille Ball. And what you forget, when they're out of like the makeup or the costume, they're beautiful, man. I mean, they're really beautiful. I was watching Wanda Sykes, the great comedian with Ellen DeGeneres yesterday. I was laughing so hard. You ever have like a liquid, whatever you're drinking? In this case, it was coffee, kind of came through my nose. I was laughing so hard. There's just so many talented people out there. But Dolly Parton, God bless her. She's not only a great talent, incredible businesswoman, that brand that she just continues to expand. We actually sell her cake mix at Coons Market, too. So I don't miss anything, folks, But I love Dolly Parton. And what I really love about her, she lost her husband, Carl. And, all these years, she could have done whatever she wanted to do. Everybody loved her. In the entertainment world, she was kind of like her version of Taylor Swift. In other words, she did everything right. Didn't do anything stupid. Never got out of control. Wasn't picked up doing something she shouldn't have been. She's always just stayed on that straight and narrow. Like Taylor Swift. I mean, you'd want your daughter to turn out that good, right? Or have your son marry someone like that. That's why I'm sure the Kelsey family's pretty happy about that. But anyway, I started thinking about Dolly Parton a lot because of the 80th birthday and the loss of her husband. And, just you feel bad. And she's okay. She gets it. Very woman of, faith and all that. And she understands where she's at as far as her age is concerned. And she talked about, it was just a good old-fashioned, like, country romance. And that's what it was. But how they stayed together, it's like, it's amazing. It's just absolutely amazing in this world that we live in today. But here, once again, I start thinking of the present, but then I start thinking back on where I got connected. And like Patricia Neal in HUD. All the stuff I was seeing on Turner Classic Movies, everything that's being posted on social media, because today would have been her 100th birthday, and legendary actors, no doubt. It took me right to my grandmother's house on the small screen watching Paul Newman in HUD. And I look down and I'm drinking that Newman's Own coffee, right? But this is where I remember Dolly Parton. One night, the beautiful Dolly Parton comes out on The Tonight Show. I mean, this woman had courage beyond belief. I mean, I would have been like my knees would have been knocking, okay? She's young, and Johnny Carson is like the legend of all legends, okay? She comes out, and I got to believe she's probably in her late 20s, maybe early 30s. This is right after that time with Porter Wagner that we used to watch on television all the time, and I'd always go, who's that Dolly Parton? I know, coming of age. You know how that works, right? Heart start beating a little bit faster than normal. But she gets out her guitar, and she says, I wrote a song for you. And Google it. Go on YouTube. She sings this song that she dedicated and used Johnny Carson's name in it that was fabulous. And she talked about how she came up with 9 to 5. On her acrylic nails, she would go back and forth like a washboard to kind of help with her timing. And she would do a little bit, then leave it and come back and do a little bit more. But here's the most amazing thing about Dolly Parton's musical career. This is why you just got to love her. And it's a shame she didn't do more acting because I think she could have really been good at it. I really do. Not that she wasn't, but I think she could have really, really been good at it. And I think Jane Fonda would agree and Lily would agree. But Greatest Love of All, that great song, Whitney Houston, right? Or I Will Always Love You, I should say. That's the love song I'm thinking about. I Will Always Love You, right? Whitney Houston, the movie The Bodyguard, Kevin Costner, one of the greatest songs of all time. Well, I had no idea. So one day, I hear her singing, I Will Always Love You. And I'm thinking, oh, she's doing a cover version. Well, you know me, man. Got to do the AI, the deep dive, the whole works. That's her song. She wrote that song. I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me. And then it gets even more interesting. This is how old this song is. Elvis Presley was still alive. It was the 70s. He wanted that song. So he summons Dolly Parton. And, you know, Dolly, young performer, Elvis wants to do one of my songs. This is great. But you see, what Elvis used to do and Colonel Tom Parker, they would take your song, but they wanted to get all the cash, meaning the royalties, and they wanted to put, you know, the king's name underneath the title. And Dolly's like, we're not doing that. And she had to turn down Elvis Presley. And she said she forgot about it, put it up on the shelf, just went on with her career. And one day she's driving, and there it is. And Whitney's singing it. And she said she was so overcome with emotion that she had to pull over on the curb and basically stop the car to gather herself because of that song. And then because I just can't stop this brain of mine, I started thinking about what happened to Whitney Houston. What a great singer. Right? Dionne Warwick happens to be her aunt. Tiana Taylor, which, by the way, is a tremendous young actress, won Battle After Another recently and is in a new Ben Affleck, Matt Damon Netflix movie, too. But she's going to do Dionne Warwick in a biopic. And when you look at the physical characteristic of their face, meaning Dionne Warwick and Tiana Taylor, it's like they're twins. Whoever the casting person that decided to do that, they deserve a raise just for thinking about it. But this young woman is really starting to make a name for herself, too. But I was thinking about Sissy Houston, who used to sing for Elvis Presley as a backup, one of the Sweet Inspirations. She was the mother of Whitney Houston. And they're all still here today but Whitney. And that's so sad because Whitney Houston, I know who you are. You had to see her on The Tonight Show for the first time, right? When she first started to break out, that voice, her presence, there wasn't anything she couldn't do. And to go full circle and to end on this note, one of my very first concerts, I got a date, I'm at the Civic Arena, one of the rare opportunities that they actually opened the roof. The skyline, the stars, hot summer night. It was Teddy Pendergrass from Philadelphia, just starting his solo career, leaving Harold Melvin in the Blue Notes. And guess who the opening act was? Whitney Houston. It all comes together, does it not? Anyway, it's your